So I'm looking a little rough today. It's been a long day. I've got a couple stories to share. So let's just get started. I have been going through the long debate of sell similar or relist. The last week and a half, maybe 2 weeks, I have not listed any items. I just wanted to test sell similar. So as items went unsold in my store, I sold similar. Because the debate is, or the argument for the sell similar is that it gives you a new ID for that item and it treats it like it's a new listing. So in theory, you would think that it's seeing a refresh in your inventory and you gain more traffic based off of eBay's algorithms. Well, I will have to say I have not seen any more traffic. I actually saw a decline in sales in the last couple of weeks, and it's led me to believe that the sell similar isn't working quite like folks are believing it is. You guys try it and see, and I've just been trying to isolate different pieces of this whole eBay business to see what actually works and what doesn't. So for me, especially if you have watchers on your items, go ahead. I still recommend doing a relist. Again, I'm substantiating that for myself based off the experiments that I have run in the last couple of weeks. I understand that it is a slow period of the year because it's coming up on the end of summer vacation. For a lot of folks, school's just getting ready to start. People are going to be... I have a little bit more time on their hands because the children are back in school. But still, based on the last couple of weeks that I have run strictly sell similar on my unsold items, I haven't listed really anything in the last couple of weeks. And that's what I'm basing, that's what I've done my analysis. My analysis, again, that's just me. I'm finding that the sell similar isn't working the same as relisting, or it's not working the same as listing a brand new item. I started this week listing items again and have seen an increase in interest as well as an increase in sales. So take it for what it is. That's what I'm seeing. Now, the next story. As many of you know, I have been doing a lot of my sourcing through online auctions and having a fun time with it. Well, my wife thought she would get involved on an online auction. So she's been watching, the last, about 2 or 3 weeks ago, she started watching an online auto auction. And, I didn't, to be honest with you, I saw, yeah, she's taking an interest in it. She's looking at it. I didn't think she was going to actually do anything with it at the time. Well, here comes Saturday. All of a sudden, she is completely obsessed with the closing of auctions on this auto auction. I mean, to the point where we went to Costco, and because the reception for her phone wasn't that great in Costco, things were flipping by pretty quick. And she didn't have time for things to refresh. She had to go outside and left my daughter and I in the store so that she could monitor her online auto auction. So we get done shopping. We're out in the car and we're driving. I think at this point we're getting ready to go to the fair. I think that was our plan for the day. So we had to get done with all of our other errands before we headed off to the fair. All of a sudden, I'm driving along, minding my own business, watching her as she is completely engrossed in this auction. And she's like, oh my God, I just bid on a car. I'm like, what? She's like, maybe somebody else will bid on it and we won't have to, and we'll be out of it. Time goes by. She's still watching. She's watching it. Oh my God, I think we just won. I think I just won auction. I mean, she was excited about it. And all I'm thinking was, you just did what? You spent $1,700 on a car that we didn't even go by and see yet. I mean, it was sight unseen. You saw the images online, and she bought a car. She's like, how do I know if I won? How do I know if I won? So knowing that it was similar to one of the other auctions that auction sites I use, I explained to her how to go in and see whether she won and what the status of her current bids were. And sure enough, she won this 2011 Ford Fiesta for $1,700. I have to admit, even though I was excited for her because she was excited, my heart kind of sank because now I'm thinking, we just bought a car for $1,700 and I really don't have a place to put it. We can't let it park for too long. What am I going to do? What if there's something wrong with it? So we go. She's in line getting ready to pay for her car. So I go out and take a look at it. And, actually it wasn't that bad until I got in the car. And even I would say the car was in 80% great condition. There were issues with the headliner, which I quickly, to the point where right above the back seat doors, there were like chunks about 10 inches long by about 3 to 4 inches wide that were just out of the headliner. I don't know. I don't know if somebody, my thought is that it was a repoed car and somebody got pissed off and decided to rip holes in the headliner. And there were some minor flaws here and there. The engine light came on, but I drove it quite a few miles, and it actually was a nice running car. But still, my first thought was to Google how much the headliner was. It was $800 plus for a headliner. At that point, I'm thinking, oh shit, I have a lot of work to do. I have to figure out how to repair a headliner. I'm already Googling, looking on YouTube, looking on everywhere on the internet, trying to find out how to repair a headliner. And I was prepared to do it. I was prepared to take it to the shop and have them hook up the computer, take it to AutoZone, have them hook up the computer, and tell me why the check engine light was on. But I talked to my wife. I'm like, you know what? Until I get that done, let's just go ahead and list it. We'll list it high, we listed for 4, which was well below book value for that car. And we came up with a price we were ready to let it go for. At that point, I was like, if we can make back what we paid for it, I was going to be good, because this is a risk for us. Never in our lives were we in a position that we could just drop $1,700 and say, let's take that risk. Well, we did, and that was Saturday. This is Tuesday, so Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. 4 days later, I ended up selling the car for $3,200. So roughly, when it was all said and done, $1,000, $1,000 profit in 4 days. That's probably the most profit I've made on a single item, outside of a house that we sold, that I had ever made. So anyway, I wanted to share that with you. Sometimes you do have to take that risk. Taking risk is scary. It is nerve-wracking. You wonder, what the hell did you just do? But sometimes it's going to work out in the long run. Anyway, those were the 2 things I was going to touch on this evening. It was just something quick. I'll go ahead and share pictures of the car at the end of the video, and we'll catch y'all later.